This is 70s Sitcom Flashback, the show that looks back at the sitcoms that defined the 1970s. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15. Every week they break it down so you actually get it.
The show that looks back at the sitcoms that defined the 1970s. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie, and today we're talking about Fantasy Island, the show where every single week someone got exactly what they wished for and somehow regretted it.
Which honestly sounds like a cautionary tale wrapped in a white suit and a really dramatic bell.
That bell. Every episode starts with Tattoo climbing the tower and shouting, "Z-plane, Z-plane," and honestly, it never gets old.
Fantasy Island premiered on ABC in January of 1978, and it was an instant hit. People just went crazy for it.
The premise is so simple, it's almost genius. Rich strangers fly to a tropical island and pay enormous amounts of money to live out their deepest fantasies.
Run by the mysterious, perfectly dressed Mr. Rourke, played by Ricardo Montalban, who had this incredible presence, like if a velvet cape could walk and talk.
Montalban was already famous for playing Khan in Star Trek, but this role made him a full-on TV icon for an entirely different generation.
And then there was Hervé Vilches as Tattoo, Rourke's assistant, tiny, enthusiastic, and absolutely scene-stealing every single week.
The show ran for 7 seasons, from 1978 all the way to 1984, which is a seriously impressive run for any show.
And at its peak, it was pulling in something like 50 million viewers a week, which in the pre-streaming 3-network era is just a staggering number.
50 million, that's basically the entire population of a large country just tuning in to watch strangers make questionable wishes.
The genius twist was that every fantasy had a catch. You'd wish to be a famous singer, and then discover fame is hollow and exhausting.
Or you'd wish to go back and relive a moment from your past, and realize the past is the past for very good reasons.
It was basically a morality play dressed up as a tropical vacation, which is a pretty sneaky way to get people thinking about their choices.
ABC was doing something similar with The Love Boat, which launched around the same time. Both shows were sunny, episodic, and strangely philosophical.
They even crossed over occasionally, which makes sense because both shows are basically asking the same question: what do people really want out of life?
Heavy stuff for a Friday night in 1979. Rourke.
Mr. Rourke was deliberately kept mysterious. Was he human? Supernatural? The show never fully committed, which kept audiences guessing for 7 years.
There were hints he'd made some kind of deal with darker forces, which gave every episode this slightly eerie undertone beneath all the sunshine.
Ricardo Montalban played him with such dignified calm that you believed he genuinely could grant any wish. The guy had incredible gravity.
He was Mexican-born, and bringing that kind of leading man gravitas to a primetime network show in the 70s was actually a big deal for representation.
The show cast all kinds of guest stars. Everyone from Roddy McDowall to Bert Convy to Carol Lynley floated through Fantasy Island.
It was a great gig for actors because you'd show up, live out a fantasy, learn a lesson, then fly home. Very contained storytelling.
Writers loved it too because each episode was essentially self-contained, so you could explore almost any genre: romance, adventure, horror, comedy.
Horror. Some of those episodes got genuinely spooky, which surprised viewers who thought they were watching a light tropical fantasy show.
The island setting was actually filmed mostly at the Arboretum of Los Angeles County in Arcadia, California. Not a real tropical island at all.
Which explains how they kept the budget manageable enough to run 7 seasons: real jungle, fake paradise, perfect television.
The show was created by producer Aaron Spelling and Leonard Goldberg, the same team behind Charlie's Angels and other massive 70s hits.
Spelling had this incredible instinct for what audiences wanted on a Friday night: escapism, warmth, a little glamour, and a satisfying ending.
Fantasy Island delivered all of that and then added the lessons so you felt entertained and vaguely improved by the end.
Vaguely improved is honestly the best case scenario for Friday night television.
The show got a reboot movie in 1998 with Malcolm McDowell, and then another full reboot series starting in 2020.
The 2020 version leaned harder into horror, which, respect, but it was a very different vibe from the warm original.
The original works because Montalban makes Rourke feel genuinely benevolent even when the fantasies go sideways. You trust that he has a plan.
And there's something deeply 70s about the core fantasy of the show. The idea that money and the right mysterious man can fix everything.
But the actual message always undercuts that. It's never the money or the island that fixes you. It's the lesson you learn.
Which is a pretty sophisticated thing to slip into what looked like glossy escapist entertainment, and maybe why it lasted as long as it did.
Fantasy Island ran for 152 episodes. That's a lot of wishes granted and a lot of hard-won wisdom handed out.
And if you ever get the chance to watch an episode, start with Season 1. Montalban is at his most magnetic and the storytelling is tight.
It's a show that trusted its audience to handle a little complexity under all that tropical sunshine, and the audience rewarded it with 7 seasons of loyalty.
Not a bad fantasy at all. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on 70s Sitcom Flashback.